I first noticed it on a Tuesday evening in late winter. The air in the house had been still all day, and the cold clung to the stones like something that didn't want to leave. I was alone. I am almost always alone, but when I went to fetch kindling from the basement, I heard breathing. It was faint, like someone just behind the wall, slow and deliberate, as though timing each inhale to match mine. I stood at the foot of the steps, holding the lantern, listening. The sound stopped. Only the low hum of the wind outside remained. The house belongs to the Grayson family, though none of them live here anymore. I tend it on their behalf, keeping the house clean, the shutters fastened, the dust from gathering too thick. They pay me for my silence as much as for my work. The basement is the oldest part, older than the house itself. Its stones are rough and irregular, blackened in places from fires long before my time. The smell down there is of earth that hasn't seen light in centuries, and something faintly metallic, like a rusted nail clenched between teeth. That Tuesday, I told myself it was nothing. The house groans in winter. The wind finds ways to crawl into your ears. But when I returned the next morning to fetch water from the pump, I heard it again. Not loud, not close, but there. Breathing. I went down further this time, lantern shaking in my hand. Shadows swam across the walls as the light bobbed. At the far end of the room, where the stone wall curves inward, there's a narrow wooden door I've never opened. The Graysons told me not to, not because it was dangerous, but because there was nothing of use behind it. The breathing seemed to come from there. Slow, patient, like it had been waiting all night for me to come back. I set the lantern down on a barrel and pressed my ear to the door. The wood was colder than the rest of the room, and when I leaned in, the sound grew clearer, a faint, damp exhale, then the slow pull of air back in. I stepped away quickly, told myself I had chores, and went back upstairs. I didn't tell anyone. Who would I tell? Days passed. I tried to ignore it. I kept to the upper floors, swept the corridors, polished the brass fittings until they caught the little sunlight we had. But every time I passed the basement door, I felt a pull, like something under the floorboards was waiting to be remembered. On the fourth night, I dreamt I was standing at that narrow door, my hand on the latch, the breathing on the other side matching mine exactly. When I woke, my hand was stiff and aching, as though I had been gripping something all night. The next evening, I carried my lantern down again. The door seemed smaller than before, or maybe the walls had shifted around it. The latch was all iron, peated with age. I touched it and felt warmth, though the rest of the basement was cold. I didn't open it. Not yet. Instead, I spoke, quietly, so I wouldn't hear my own voice echo. I asked if someone was there. The breathing stopped. For a long moment, there was nothing but silence, the kind that presses in on your skull. Then, just once, I heard a breath right at my ear, though I was standing well away from the door. I left the lantern burning on the table that night. I didn't want the basement in darkness. But when I came down the next morning, the lantern was gone. In its place, leaning against the door, was a folded scrap of cloth, a kerchief, yellowed and thin, with the initials AG stitched in faded red thread. No one has those initials anymore. Not in this town. Not in the last ledger of names I saw. I keep it in my pocket now, though I don't know why. It feels wrong to leave it there, but worse to put it back. It's been a week since then. I've stopped sleeping much. Some nights, the breathing is so loud it feels like it's in the room with me. Other nights, I can't hear it at all, and that's somehow worse, like it's moved somewhere else in the house. 2 nights ago, I woke to find my bedroom door open. I never leave it open. At the far end of the hall, in the faint glow of the moon through the shutters, I thought I saw someone standing there. Not moving, not turning away. Just breathing. I didn't light a candle. I just lay there, eyes open until morning. When I went to check, the hallway was empty. Today, the basement door is ajar. Only by an inch, but enough to see a seam of darkness that's deeper than the rest of the basement. I know I should shut it. I should bolt it and leave it that way. But when I stand at the top of the stairs, I can hear it again, closer now, slower, heavier. As though it's climbed halfway up to meet me. I'm holding the kerchief as I write this. It feels warmer than it should. I can't remember the last time I breathed without matching the rhythm I hear below. And I think, if I go down there now, it will stop matching mine.